So, I've been working on the four-wheeler, the Polaris four-wheeler for a day now. A while back, the original clutch exploded into 100 pieces. Instead of purchasing the Polaris clutch, which was almost $800, I bought one off Amazon for $99, because that's what I do. The $99 clutch worked well, with the exception of the EBS, which on this four-wheeler it has engine braking system, which relies on this little one-way pulley down in the center of the clutch to work correctly. The $99 clutch, the machining of it was thousandths of an inch difference from the factory, and that was enough to make the belt not drop down into these grooves on the pulley, and it would stall the engine when you slowed down. So I basically was riding the four-wheeler, but I could never stop. If I did, it would stall. So I got tired of it, and I knew the fix was to take the old EBS pulley from the other clutch, because that was about the only piece that was still good on it, and put it onto this new clutch. The problem was, to take one of these apart, you need special tools, and the special tools are somewhat pricey. It's a couple $100 just in tools that I didn't want to buy because I was only going to use them once probably. So me being the guy I am, I made most of them. The first tool I needed was to take the lock nut off that is inside here. And I ended up buying that socket because it was just too much of a pain in the butt to make it. Well, that was a mistake. I should have just made it myself, because the one that I bought didn't really fit right anyway. I ended up having to cut off about 1/8 of an inch of it off the end with the bandsaw, and then the nubs inside, they were too big and didn't fit down into the notches in the lock nut. I ended up having to grind those down anyway. Long story short, this was $75. I did end up getting it to work after modifying it. So $75 socket, boom. The next thing that I needed was the spider, which is the piece that's in here that has the weights roll up on. They make a special socket for that. That one's another 70 something dollars, maybe more. I made that one completely myself. That's this bad boy. I started out with a piece of 3/8 plate, cut that out, welded 3 more pieces of plate on in this triangle shape. On this side, we added a piece of square tubing to get the distance up to get over the shaft. And then inside is a socket, just a 1/2 inch drive socket that's welded into the square tube. That worked awesome. That goes down in once this covers off, and it unscrews the spider. Now, the third tool that you would have needed to take this apart would be a way to hold this thing down, because that spider is torqued to 250 foot-pounds, and you're not holding this thing, I don't care who you are, while someone has a 2-foot breaker bar on there spinning it around. Okay, so I didn't want to buy that tool, so I made that, and that worked out awesome. That is this guy right here, piece of wood. I marked everything out in pen, hole saw for the center, took a chisel, cleaned it out, took a saw, got all my notches. All these notches fit these fins. You can see the fins. They drop right in, and this whole clutch sits right in there, just like that. Boom. Then you take the threaded rod, put the threaded rod down through, goes right through the board with another nut on the bottom, suck it all up tight, and then that allows me to take apart the whole thing. So I just wanted to show you that. That's what's going on in the shop. I finally, I did get it back together with some of the old parts and some of the new parts, and I took some measurements, and I believe that this one-way bearing is now going to work correctly. Although when I look at it now, it doesn't really look that great to me. Actually has some slop that I didn't know it had. Interesting. Well, I'm going to put it back on and see what happens. Just wanted to show you the tools that I made, and that's it.